Thank you very much. I am coming to you live from Koboko. Now, as the global aid cut strains a number of humanitarian responses with much effect of Donald Trump's new policies, EU-funded project is now trying to turn into local leadership in Uganda and four other East African countries, which includes Kenya, Ethiopia, Somalia, amongst others. And when you look at this particular new project, it is trying to look at locally grown solutions to address the concerns of over 1.9 million refugees in the country. But coming back to the local solutions in Koboko, here we're speaking about over 25,719 self-settled urban refugees, according to the latest statistics, which was released by, that is VNG, that is the statistics of self-settled urban refugees within the municipality of Koboko. They're trying to see how can they be in person to have solutions which are locally grown, to ensure that they address the dear needs of these asylum seekers, refugees who are settled in the settlements, and also some of the urban settled refugees. This afternoon, I want to strike a conversation with the executive director of SURA, and this is so far the second phase of the engagement under the land project. I want to understand, looking at this, how do they think it's going to address the dear needs of the refugees who are based in Koboko? You're most welcome.
Thank you so much. My name is Onjima Duncan, the acting executive director, SURA. This land basically is a locally led solution for refugee reintegration. So Participatory Forum 2 now today looks at zeroing down to some key priority areas. So we now need to identify locally led solutions that can aid sustainable reintegration. So that's why we have called these people here, and they are going to discuss some key ideas. We had the first participatory forum that identified up to 6 areas. So now we want to zero down to some of these areas, like we have zeroed down to 3 key areas. These are areas that affect these city authorities, that affect the community. So we have looked at strategic scaling. We have zeroed down to business formalization and financing. You know, these refugees, they need to have livelihood, they need to have businesses to sustain their homes. And then we have also zeroed down to health and education services. You know, all these refugee children, they need to go to school. They're all in the schools of the municipal. But the schools are so congested. The hospitals are so congested. But so now we want to look at locally led solutions that can be able to aid the sustainable reintegration. So that's why we have called these people here to discuss this in the second forum.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. This is the message from the executive director of SURA, and of course, he has been able to vividly give us what they intend to achieve at the end of the day with some of these members who are currently participating in this engagement at Country Motel here in Koboko municipality. Now, according to the data which was released on 31st of March 2026, it indicates that Uganda hosts approximately 1,999,576 refugees in the country, and these refugees are being distributed across different refugee holding areas, with West Nile hosting the largest number of these groups. We shall bring you the comprehensive details of this story in our subsequent news bulletin. That is NTV Akaongezi and NTV Tonight. My sister in the studio, unless you have another question, allow me to say that this is where we end with the conversation. Allow me to hand the room back to you in the studio for you to continue with some of the stories making headlines this afternoon. Back to you in the studios.